For Meighan, please.
Meighan, can you talk a little bit about how individual workouts are going so far and your initial impressions of this group for this season?
I'm really excited. I mean, we've been working twice as hard. I think this is the hardest I've ever seen a group since I've been here work just as hard. But I think we're more hungry, as a young team. Not having too many veterans on the floor. We're a young team. We're a lot more hungry, and I think the more we push and the more we work hard and keep the mentality of grinding for our ninth championship, I think anything is possible.
Give me an example of this, how hard they're working that makes them different.
I think it's just paying attention to detail, and I think the more we pay attention to detail, the more it makes things easier. And we get out there on the floor, and during the game, it makes things easier. We're not making it harder on ourselves; we're making it easier on ourselves. And I mean, the coaches have just really done a great job, and they've really pushed us to understand that we work hard now. Later on in the season, it'll be a lot easier.
Any other areas where this team kind of maybe stands out from any other you've played on?
We have great chemistry, and I think that's the biggest thing. Just from like playing pickup, besides being individuals, the chemistry is always there. So I think we contain that chemistry and keep it moving throughout the year and grow as a team and build a sisterhood. I think we'll be perfectly fine.
How much, going back to last season, I saw a story Steve did this summer with you. How much did that last game? How much did that linger for you? Was that a real bitter pill for you to going into the off season, the way it played out for you?
I mean, I don't get too bitter about things like that. I just take it as a lesson learned, learn from my mistakes, make sure I get out here, and as the season goes on, I want to get better each and every game. Just taking the lessons that I learned from that game and using it for every game that is to come. So just try to work hard on every little aspect of my game, and at the same time building my teammates up and making sure that they're doing the little things.
What did you take from that game that you can? What did you learn from that? I guess from that game.
Starting off how I finished. I mean, you got to start a game good, start the game with a high tempo and finish with a high tempo, and just staying consistent throughout the game.
Did you? I remember talking to you after that game, and you felt like, I think you alluded to me. You felt like at the beginning you were a little tense, maybe a little uptight. I mean, was there something to be learned from that might help you avoid that in a situation like that again?
I guess because I was so focused on trying to get to the Final Four that I kind of looked too ahead of myself, and I think that made me so tense because I wanted to get there so bad to the point where I didn't focus on the now instead of worrying about the future. So I think if I focus on the now and focus on what I need to do right now, I think the past will turn out the way that I want it to be as long as I'm working on the now.
Did you change anything in terms of your summer routine? Did you do what were you concentrating on, and was it a different routine for you than maybe in the past?
Well, when I was talking to Coach Law, I think one of the biggest things is that they wanted me to work on my ball handling, and I think that was the biggest thing with me. Working with Bobby Mays, who comes in every once in a while, and I'm working with him. And just things like that, and working on my shot. I want to make everything to perfection. And I think, when I get everything down, perfect, I feel like everything will be good. But I can't be too perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. But I try to work twice as hard just to be perfected at everything I do.
If you feel like you've improved your ball handling, and if so, in what ways can you notice it being better?
I feel like I've gotten a lot tighter with my ball handling. Being in control of the ball. I mean, I have big hands, so I'm able to control the ball a little bit, but making sure I'm staying low at all times, keeping it tight, not putting the ball out in front of my defender and things like that. And I feel like it's developed over the summer, including like when we get into individual workouts and staying low when we have defenders on us and everything like that.
What have you seen from each of the two freshmen? What stands out about them so far from what you've seen?
They are very finesse players, and Jordan is like another Energizer bunny. She's always laughing. She's always bringing that extra oomph and that extra energy. And Mercedes is very calm, cool, and collected. She's one of those players that worries. She puts the team before herself, and then she likes to go based on what the team wants. So I feel like that's something that we need, and I feel like they are the missing pieces to our puzzle. And I think that with the team, with the game that they have, they can bring that to the table, and everything else will fall right into place.
Holly was saying that Jordan's already been pretty vocal on the floor. Have you noticed that? And they're kind of surprised that a freshman was speaking up like
No,
that.
she's hungry. She's hungry, and I love that about her. She makes me think about myself. Like, I didn't talk as much, but I did lead by example. And with her, I think that's the difference with us is that she did come in and she did communicate with us early on because she knew she's going to have to be in a leadership role. And when she does get out there on the floor as a point guard, she's going to need to be vocal. So her coming in, she understood what her role was and what she needed to do early on. And I think that she's coming to grips with that and she's taking advantage of it.
terms of your overall game, how do you want to? What kind of a player do you want to be this year? I mean, are there things that you've got specific things in mind that you want to do, or what?
I feel like I've really developed into a lot better player since my freshman year. But I want to be, I want to be able to do everything. Like as far as like I can get assists, I can get a rebound, I can, just being able to change my speed. Like sometimes everybody says, I'm moving too fast, or I'm going fast all the time. But that's one thing I want to do this year is be able to change my speed at any point in time. I can go fast, slow down, and pick it right back up. And that's another thing that I've been working on is staying calm throughout the game, making sure I'm staying poised and not getting too anxious, too tense early on in the game, and just come in, calm and let the game come to me.
What about defensively? What have you got some things in mind for yourself where you might make strides in that aspect, or what?
I feel like my defense has gotten better. Like I've said every year, it's gotten better every year. But I feel like right now, with me being a senior, there's so many things. My body has changed. I'm learning to stay in that position for a long period of time. My hips have gotten stronger, so this year my feet are going to be moving a little bit quicker. I'm going to stop playing with my hands and getting ticky-tack fouls and things like that, and really just focusing on staying in a position, making sure I don't give my opponents easy baskets.
Do you feel like this team? Have you seen enough of this team to sense that the scoring load is going to be able to be spread? In other words, if you maybe miss a shot or two at the beginning of the game, you shouldn't have to feel, oh God, I got to get going here, or something like that.
Yeah, just things like my mentality about that is just letting the game come to me, and if a shot doesn't go in, look for somebody else, or try to go to the basket and change my game up throughout the game. And just making sure, like even with my teammates, some of my teammates get frustrated, when we miss a shot and things like that. But we focus on the next play, not worry about that play, and just keep it moving throughout the game.
How much is what's your impressions of Coach Taylor in terms of what he's doing with the team so far?
He's fantastic. He really is. He's fantastic. He's pushed us out of our comfort zone, and that's one thing that I greatly appreciate about him is that he's pushed us so far out of our comfort zone to the point where that uncomfortable feeling that we have has turned into comfortable. Like my body is like, it feels like a noodle every once in a while, but the reason my body feels that way is just because my body's changing. I'm understanding. I have muscles that I didn't think I had before, and he's been working us out in those ways to make us understand, there's going to be some different things that we have to do instead of focusing on one aspect of our bodies and working on all aspects of our bodies.
Is he doing different things with you than maybe you had before? Or
he's doing a little bit different things, and I feel like his tempo is a lot higher because he is a guy, and that tempo is a little bit different. But when he gets with us, he's straight to the point. He likes to get in, get out, do what we need to do. We go hard for him, get us out of our comfort zone, and get back, and we'll be done.
Having him draft for a whole year, how much of a difference can that make for you guys if he's playing? Because making a pretty big impact earlier freshman year before he got hurt.
I think I'm just ready for her to be back. Like we talked today, and we were talking to each other, and she was like, I feel great, knowing the fact that me and you were going to be out on the court together again, swarming people, being in their face, running up and down the court, and things like that. And I'm just really excited. Like, it just makes me happy to know that she's going to be back out on the floor. She's healthy. She's moving. Her arms are great. Her knees are great. Everything like that. I'm just excited for this season. God has a plan for this season, and I'm really excited about it.
Let me ask you about your brother at Oklahoma State. Do you guys have much contact during the course of the school year? I mean, you're both athletes at high level programs and high level sports. I mean, can you guys talk back amongst each other and share experiences, or what goes on there?
Yeah, that's my brother. I love him. In some way, somehow, we find a way to talk to each other, whether it be on FaceTime, whether it be through a text message. He'll send me something funny, or I'll send him something funny. And sometimes we do, like when we get at home, when it's just us, that's when we share our experiences, tell each other about what happened through the year, or the best part of the year, and things like that. And we kind of learn. Sometimes we don't even realize it, and I don't think he realizes it, but we learn so much from each other based on how we speak to each other and how we communicate about our experiences. And I think, like with me, he's taught me so much about facing adversity and injuries and things like that. And I feel like he's got a lot from me as far as leadership, communicating, maturity, and understanding why things happen when they do. So any other time, like when we're at home, we communicate. But as far as like texting throughout the year, because he's a busy guy, so,
right.
But it's kind of a back and forth.
Did he help you? Did you talk with him at all this off season? Did he have any good advice for you, or things that you take with you? At talking about your past this last season for yourself.
Yeah, I think with him, he has his own thing, but I feel like it's been him and it's been my older brothers. And my older brothers are the main ones who have told me, this year, you need to be eating. You need to be, when they say eat, I mean, you need to be playing hard. You need to be dominating. You need to do whatever. I mean, this is your senior year, it's the last go round, and just give as much as I can. So I think that's the biggest thing from all of my brothers, is that, if I go out and play hard for my senior year, bring back a national championship, my journey will be finished here in Tennessee.
Do you get a chance to watch his games very often? I know not all of them are on TV.
Yeah, not all the time, but when I do, it's always exciting. I mean, I like seeing him crack somebody every once in a while, but I mean, when I get the chance, I really do enjoy watching him.
Does he watch your games?
Oh yeah, he does.
Does he critique, or does he?
He doesn't. My brother, because he knows he doesn't like to be critiqued at times.
So he doesn't.
He does. He'll be like, Meighan, you need to do this, you need to do that, but it's not a hard critique, as if it was like my dad or somebody. But other than that, he's more positive and encouraging, and saying like, well, if you do this, you should definitely do this next time. Things like that.
How much organized basketball did he play, or did you just concentrate on football from the get-go?
Believe it or not, my brother used to love to play basketball until he finally, got into, when we were on Fort Sam Houston, he always, played football. But basketball was another thing, but as he got bigger and bigger, basketball ended up not being his sport, so he ended up staying with football.
All right, Meighan. Thank you
very
very much.
much.
Thanks, Meighan. Appreciate it.